Okay, so today is Monday, September 28th. I'm just east in Alberta. I'm leaving Alberta town limits. Right there, I think, is the sign. But anyway, be 2 days shy of 2 weeks, 14 days, so today will be the 12th day after Hurricane Sally. And I wanted to show just how much destruction there still is. I know I'm flipping back and forth, but look at all them trees over there now. And most of the trees that were actually down in the road now are just piled on the side of the road. There was one right there that looked kind of dangerous. People are still without power, believe it or not. My neighbor behind me, about on the other side of the block, he's still without power, running generators. There's some road debris. Big field, trees not down over there, so it's just so weird how things like this happen along the highway here. As you can see, there's just destruction after destruction. Trees down there have been picked up, cut down, cut up and removed. This is an RV park. I'm not sure, it's not really an RV park, it's a combination RV park, mobile home park for old folks. Corn still standing in the field. But that building has its roof ripped off. Tree falling down right there. Corn still standing in the field. I'm gonna say that twice. $1.99 for gas. It hadn't started going up yet.
There's a big chipper truck. All we gotta do is ride around and put wood in that and chip it up.
Note to self, cut out the red light. There's the tree that's been blown down and hasn't been cut up and removed yet. And the field just looks relatively untouched. A long tree standing there all by itself, but right next door here, they're blown down. You just never know, man. Just right where I'm living just happened to be the spot. If it wasn't that spot, it would have been somewhere one of these other spots. Try to just keep it pointed forward, and you can see from the peripheral what's happening. I know this much. I went into Foley, which is west of where I'm living, about 7 miles, and along there it looks just like this. You'll ride along and not see anything, and then all of a sudden you'll look to the side, you'll see an entire orchard of pecans blown down. We'll ride down there and see that here in a little while. This will be a storm that people won't forget. They'll say, I was here when Hurricane Sally. And then time heals all wounds. They'll forget just how bad it was. And sometimes stay right where they're at, when they should be evacuating. See, there's a long pine tree standing right there all by itself, and it's not even leaning. Several of them. Here's an RV that's got a bunch of blue on this roof. There's some more blue. You see debris on the side of the road, the size of some of those trees. try to capture it here. I won't be able to zoom because I am driving. There was this metal building right there. You can kind of see it. It got tore all to pieces. Whoa! Man. People just trust them brakes, I know that. Probably the mail lady, I ain't wanting to hit them. One of the guest electrician trucks just went by. Some more debris, both sides of the road. It's just so odd. See, now you couldn't even tell just by this view. I don't see any trees blown down or anything chopped up, piled up or anything. It just happens to be a little hole. Now, right here is the high point. From Alberta, my house, all the way to here, you're steadily going uphill, albeit very slow. It's about a 7-mile incline. And this is supposedly one of the highest spots in the state of Alabama right in here. Which we'll eventually go over the Perdido Bay Bridge up here in Lillian. And there's places along the Perdido Bay there in Lillian where the bluff is at least 100 foot above the sea level or above the Perdido Bay level. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and when I see something good I'll put it back on. Okay, so I just crossed over into Pensacola. I'm still on Highway 98. And I brought the camera back out because the destruction here is still rather obvious. In fact, they still got crews working on trying to keep the highways clean, I guess. I mean, I can't even imagine. After Ivan, you couldn't even drive this way. I couldn't get over to my pop. He couldn't get over to me. And it was cleaned up. Actually, as soon as the flooding went down, they cleared it up and you was able to pass. But here, you got road. That right back there was a jackhammer working on the road where basically it washed out. I hope everybody was okay and nobody fell through that. I know when I lived over in Pensacola in the 70s, I was on Scenic Highway, Mobile Highway, or Highway 90, Scenic Highway, and it's curvy and runs along the side of a bluff, and the road had washed out up ahead of me and a car literally disappeared. And of course, luckily the speed limit was slow enough, and at the right time I saw him disappear, and so did the cars in front of me, and we were able to avoid that. But the first guy, man, he just went headlong into it. Alright, so today is Friday, October the 9th, and they're getting up. Right now, Hurricane Delta is just fixing to pound somebody in Louisiana and Texas. They still don't know for sure. But anyway, to give you an idea of the size of this pile he's picking up, you can see the size of the truck, and it's 2 trailers. And I'm curious to see, I bet they get every bit of it on those 2 trailers. But that'll give you an idea of the length and the depth of that pile of wood that came off of just this property right here. Alright, I'll take a picture later. So to answer the question about whether or not they could get that whole pile in 1 or 2 trailers, and basically tandem trailers, the answer is apparently not. That's how much wood, how much lumber was in there. Easily could build a mansion. Alright, so they're back for their second truck, or 2 trailers. I've never actually seen this. It's the first time in all the storms I've been in that I've seen these double trailer tandem units with the arm like that. That's pretty neat. I thought some of you might enjoy seeing how that works. he'll sit right there in that one center spot right there and load both of them trailers. Then they just drive off, take it to the dump wherever they're taking it. I seen a big yard over in Pensacola that had I don't know, it must have been an acre, about 20 foot high of wood chips, and I just had kind of figured that's where this come from, or where that came from. I don't know if there's a weight limit on a log. Yeah, that's a pretty neat system. Whoever came up with that really had a good idea. Make for some quick cleanup. Although they've been on my road alone right here. My road is about 5 blocks long, and or on this side anyway it is. And they've been at it for a week on just one road. And you saw all the debris he's picking up now. It came from just one lot, so you can imagine every lot down is the same way. All right, that's giving you a pretty good idea of what's happening here. I'm gonna close the video. So today is Saturday, I think the 10th. And they pulled 2 trailers in yesterday. I caught that on video, and they still have this much of that pile left. So I don't know what their limits are, but it seemed like with 2 trailers they could have got all that at once, or got all of that by now, but they didn't. And there may even be a size limit on the size of the log that they can pick up, because there are some pretty healthy logs over there. But importantly here, I'm just hoping we can see the clouds. I can see them in my lens. Put the trees in the foreground to give a little perspective. But the wind right now is coming, that's like almost coming out of the due south, heading due north. And right now, Hurricane Delta is pounding Louisiana. And Derek at DT DistroTube said that the power was out. He posted that like by now 7 hours ago. So around midnight last night, his power is already out, and that'll give you the idea of the size of this storm, the magnitude. I'm sure hoping those clouds are coming through. Right now it's just a solid layer and it's hard to distinguish, but in my lens I'm seeing clouds, but I'm not seeing much movement. Trust me, they're moving. Hard to say standing on the ground how fast they're moving, but they are moving out pretty steady. Just a uneducated guess, 20 miles an hour maybe, but we are getting some gusts on the ground occasionally, not bad ones. Our biggest part here is tornadoes. We've already had one verified seen over there near the battleship USS Alabama on what they call the causeway as you're approaching Mobile, Alabama, as you're approaching it from the east. So that's probably 40 miles east of where I'm at, or west of where I'm at. But I see on the news already they're posting tornado warnings from here to the other side of Pensacola, Florida. So that's what we had to watch out for. And I'm just going to keep my eyes and ears open and be able to just drop anything and take shelter if I need to. But otherwise I'm going to be packing up boxes, getting everything ready, finalizing. Alright, so this is like 7:30 a.m. I'll take another video sometime today when the situation changes. I'm headed east in Florida on Highway 98 toward my new place. And I'm going to try to slow down. There's no traffic here. I want to point out this mobile home there. There it is right there. So this is October 26th, a Monday morning. This is we're in Lower Alabama. We're 5 weeks out of Hurricane Sally. There's still debris. You'll see that here directly. They're doing good. They've been busy every day doing, getting all the tree debris out of the roads. But now they're starting to work a little bit more on getting the regular household stuff out, like sheetrock, cabinets, and people's furniture, what have you. There's a tree still over. So anyway, I'm just thinking I'm doing the video here real quick because it just sure looks ominous right now out in the lower in the Caribbean, I believe it is. There's a Hurricane Zeta, or there's a tropical storm Zeta, and they expect it to reach hurricane force before the day is out. And now they're saying, I believe this morning they said Thursday it may make landfall. And the cone of it, we're right in the middle of the cone again. The Gulf Coast just cannot catch a break. And I just, as bad as I hate to say it, I hope it does not hit Louisiana this time. But if it has to hit somebody, let it hit us. Louisiana just got wiped out. I mean, first of all, they got hit by the Hurricane Laura, which, as I understand it, was the strongest hurricane to ever make landfall in Louisiana. And then less than a month out of that, they had the Hurricane Delta. We've had so many hurricanes, they're now using the Greek alphabet. Now we're on Zeta, Z-E-T-A. So anyway, I'm almost out of my place. I've got probably all day today getting a little of stuff, and then tomorrow I'm hoping to get all the last of the big stuff. I've got most of my furniture over here. One thing I haven't brought over is my computer setup. I've minimalized it down to just one computer and one monitor. So that's all I've got to move to get it over here, to get it over to the new place. And that's where I'm headed. And unfortunately, you can't really see because there's so much fog. And that's the point. It's a very ominous feeling this morning facing the upcoming week. So I'll close now, and next segment I'll have when we're over in Pensacola or nearer into Pensacola and see how much debris is on the road still there. Okay, so this is Lillian Highway. Again, same clip, October. This is Monday morning. And this is Lillian Highway. I think it's like Florida County Road 227 or State Road 227, something like that. But to your left, which is east, is where Perdido Bay is. And all of this area that you can see is in low-lying area. As you can see, there's a dip on either side of the road, and that's because they built the road up. They drained the marshland, built the road up, and then they started importing houses or building houses. And as you can see, that's what water does to houses. Hoping you can see all of that. I'm having to make sure I'm driving good. And right there, you should be able to maybe, no, can't see it. Back through there, maybe you can see it. There's the water. You're going to see the water even better up here. But water was over this road during Hurricane Sally. And one of the reasons why I know that is I'll show you in a second here. You can still see all the debris There's the bay over there, Perdido Bay it's called. It's fixing to open up here where you can see it more plain. As you can see though, the water was over this road, and when it got over the road, it got into those houses. And you can see all the debris. Well, they done got a lot of it cleaned up. Of course, it's been 6 weeks since Hurricane Sally, but still, there's still a lot of it left. They got this area right here first because the water was so bad they were afraid it was going to wash this bridge out. And so first thing they did, they've been working for the last 2 weeks on putting up a, I guess you'd call it a C-block. It's basically a guardrail with some asphalt reinforcing. That's to stop the debris, not water. But you can see all of these houses, they done got it cleaned up. But all of these houses, water was probably a foot in their houses. There was a pile of brick on the road. Something must have washed into a brick wall and damaged it so bad they had to throw it away. There's a big pile of debris. I probably won't be able to show it, but there's a line down as well. There's still lines down in places. And I think all the services are back up. They just need to clean the down lines. A lot of places it was easier. They really didn't have a choice in a lot of places to just replace the line. And it was a lot quicker. Okay.